Girl, have you ever heard someone say something so out of pocket, so bold, so unfiltered, that you had to pause and go, wait, did he really just say that? Because when it comes to Donald J. Trump, this man isn't just president. He's a walking headline machine. From claiming his uncle taught the Unabomber, to dreaming up Trump resorts in Gaza, to mocking transgender athletes on stage, the audacity is unreal. Like, how can someone be this funny, this weird, and this mean, all at the same time? Oh, honey. The chaos is wild, and today we're diving into Trump's most arrogant, bizarre, and downright jaw-dropping moments. Every word 100% real. So recently, Trump was speaking in Pennsylvania at a summit, and out of nowhere,
although my uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever, he was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math.
He brings up his uncle. Now, John Trump wasn't just anyone. He was an MIT professor. But here's where things go from quirky to straight up wild. Trump says his uncle taught a really great student, and then casually drops that the student was none other than Ted Kaczynski. Yes, the Unabomber. I swear I'm not making this up. According to Trump, his uncle told him the Unabomber was brilliant and very serious. Like, sir, first of all, there's zero record of Kaczynski ever studying under John Trump. In fact, MIT historians confirmed that the Unabomber never took a class there. Second, Trump's uncle died in 1985, and the Unabomber didn't go full hermit mode until after that. But Trump, as always, said it with full confidence, no hesitation. Now, while everyone's still picking their jaws off the floor from that one, let's talk about Greenland. Yes, again. Trump's obsession with Greenland didn't end in 2019, when Denmark literally laughed at him for offering to buy it. This time, he came back bolder. At a rally in December 2024, he doubled down, saying Greenland is a national security priority.
We need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time.
And even joked that military action wasn't off the table. Then in May 2025, he said, and I quote, "I don't rule it out. We need Greenland very badly." Sir, what? Greenland's foreign minister responded like, "We're not for sale." And NATO officials were reportedly concerned about the aggression. But Trump, he brushed it off and said people just don't understand real estate. Baby, this isn't a hotel chain. You can't just buy a continent extension. Speaking of bad ideas, let's talk about the time Trump used an anti-Semitic slur on camera. On July 3rd, 2025, Trump railed against banks and said the problem with America.
No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people.
Is Shylocks. Now, if you're not familiar, Shylock is a term from Shakespeare that's been used as an anti-Semitic stereotype for centuries. Even the Anti-Defamation League stepped in, saying, that word has no place in modern discourse. Trump, of course, claimed ignorance and said he just meant high-interest moneylenders. But come on, if I can Google that term and find out it's offensive in 0.2 seconds, what's your excuse, Mr. Billionaire President? Then there's the mean girl moment that had the whole internet talking. At a graduation ceremony in Alabama this year, Trump literally impersonated a transgender athlete, mocking her voice.
And she said, Mom, I'm going to do it, Mom. Can't do it.
Her body, her abilities, in front of a cheering crowd. He even joked that Melania would be so mad if she saw him acting like a woman. The context? Trump's been pushing a hardline stance against trans athletes, especially in women's sports. But critics say this wasn't policy. It was plain cruelty. And honestly, it wasn't even subtle. LGBTQ+ groups were outraged. Students walked out, and even some of his own advisors said it was a distraction that hurts the campaign. But the base, they ate it up. And now let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein. You know, the name that always brings the drama. On July 15th, 2025, Trump was asked about new court documents being released in the Epstein case. And what did he say? He literally waved his hand and said, "Sordid, but boring." Boring? Sir, this is a massive scandal involving some of the most powerful people on the planet. And your reaction is boredom? People were furious. Even some of Trump's own supporters called it dismissive and tone deaf. One commentator said, "This is not reality TV. These are real victims. But Trump just moved on like it was a rerun of The Apprentice. Now let's switch it up and talk about the AI video that had everyone blinking in confusion.
Donald Trump has reposted this on Truth Social, showing his AI vision for the future of Gaza.
In April 2025, Trump reposted a bizarre AI-generated video showing Gaza completely transformed into a Trump-branded luxury resort. I kid you not, there were golden skyscrapers, fountains shaped like him, casinos, even women dancing by the pool.
Number one, Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.
The voiceover said, Palestinians should be relocated to Egypt or Jordan, so Gaza could be turned into a tourist hub. This was not satire. This was posted on his official Truth Social. World leaders were stunned. Human rights organizations called it racist and delusional. And yet, his fans said it was visionary. Y'all, I has gone too far, and so has Trump's fantasy life. But wait, there's more.
From federal investigators after a stunning new report on the mid-air collision that killed 67 people over the Potomac River.
Remember that tragic mid-air crash over the Potomac earlier this year? Well, instead of offering condolences or waiting for an investigation, Trump immediately blamed it on, wait for it, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Yep, without any evidence, he claimed that woke hiring practices were responsible for the tragedy. Aviation officials immediately shut that down. No such policies were in place. But Trump just went on talking about how DEI is destroying America. Like, sir, people died. Maybe read the room? And can we please discuss the wind farms? At a July 2025 rally, Trump claimed, with a straight face, that China only has one wind farm, one, for the entire country. According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, China has more than 310,000 megawatts of installed wind capacity. They're literally the global leader. But Trump told his audience that China only pretends to be green and hates wind. Just because you don't like turbines near your golf course doesn't mean they don't exist, King. Then came the foreign policy plot twist of the year. After years of cozying up to Putin, Trump suddenly flips and issues a 50-day ultimatum, demanding that Russia withdraw from Ukraine or face drone strikes, tariffs, and NATO wrath. What? Not that anyone's complaining about standing up to Russia, but the whiplash is real. He literally went from calling Putin a genius to calling him a liability to humanity. And in case you forgot how weird things can get, let me remind you of Trump's latest football obsession. At the FIFA Club World Cup final in July, Trump said he's considering an executive order to rename soccer as football in America to match the rest of the world. He claimed it would be unifying, then said he'd store the FIFA trophy in the Oval Office as a gift to the people. Okay, but why is this kind of iconic? Still weird, but iconic. So what do we make of all this? Trump is a headline-grabbing machine. He knows exactly how to stir controversy and keep every news cycle spinning around him. It's wild, it's chaotic, sometimes hilarious, sometimes straight up dangerous, and honestly, it feels like a reality show meets political circus. So tell me, which Trump moment made you laugh, gasp, or go, no way he said that? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because in Trump world, the line between truth and spectacle is razor thin, and the cameras never stop rolling.